Hi, this is Julie from A Loving Christ. In this video I want to show you how to use the sample Google form so that you can edit and use it for your own retreat registrations. The first thing you want to do is just go ahead and click on the link in the blog post. That'll open a new tab and you'll get a message to copy the document. So if you just go ahead and click this blue button, make a copy, and then it's going to open up. This is going to be your own copy and you won't have to worry about making any changes to the original. You can see that right up here it's just called Copy of Fall, Refresh and Renew. That's what I had named it, but you can click up here and drag over this title and name it whatever you want depending on what your registration form needs to be called. You'll also want to come down here and notice that everything is an editable field. You can come in and give it a new name right here. You can click and edit this part. Just take out what I put and put in any directions that you want to give the retreat participants. I have several fields in here: last name, first name, address, phone number, email. If you want to give the ladies an option to lead a breakout, you can do that. Emergency contact is always important. Pictures and promotional materials, and then payment information down here. Now, if you don't need any of these fields, or if there are some of them that you don't actually need, notice that if I click on a question, I can actually see right here, I can delete that question if I don't want it at all. I can also make it required or not required just by clicking this little toggle switch right here. And I could also duplicate it if I wanted a similar question. Maybe I wanted another question on the form that had radio buttons for options, and I could just go ahead and duplicate that. Notice as well that anytime you want to make a new question, all you have to do is use this little toolbar right over here and click that plus sign, and you'll have your choice. You can type in your question. You can look right over here and pick the type of question that you want, and most of the time you'll be able to stick to short answer, multiple choice, check boxes. Those tend to be the best for registration forms. I'm going to go ahead and delete this new one. I don't actually need that. You can see as well with your toolbar, you can add titles and descriptions, you can add images, you can even add YouTube videos and more. So you can play around with that a little bit as you put together your own registration form. Or if you just want the basics, you can just use mine and go through and change the details. It's very easy to do. Now I have a purple theme. If you want to change the color, you can go right up here to your color palette and choose any color that you'd like and go ahead and change that, which is really handy as well. Anytime you want to see what the form looks like, so this is going to be what the ladies see when they go in to actually register, you just click that eye and it gives you the view. So this is what they'll see, which is really nice. They go through and fill it all out. Notice down here that there's some links to the payment. This is what I had put in. You can go ahead, of course, and change that however you need, and then they'll submit the form at the end. I'm going to leave that. I don't actually need to do that. Okay, so you also want to be able to have Google collect your responses automatically so that you don't have to type them all into a spreadsheet. This is super easy to do as well. You'll notice right up here I have two options, questions and responses. So if I go ahead and click on responses, right now of course I have 0 responses, but if I come right over here and notice this green button, when I put the mouse on it, it says create spreadsheet. I'll click that and I can say create a new spreadsheet, which is typically what you'll want to do. This will usually have the name of your form in there, and then you'll just go ahead and click create. Now that's working behind the scenes, but basically it makes this spreadsheet, and you'll notice that it has the name of our retreat, but it'll say responses, and it is actually a spreadsheet, and it is saved automatically into your Google Drive, so it is there for you. Now, when your ladies actually fill out the form and hit that submit button, all of their answers are automatically going to go into this spreadsheet that Google has just created for you. And you can see there's a timestamp so you'll know when they registered, and of course all of the fields or the questions of your form will be automatically filled in here. This makes it so easy to keep track of who's registered, to keep track of their information, to find their emergency contact. It's all done for you. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is once you have your form created and you have your spreadsheet created and connected, so that's all in place, the next thing you need to know, of course, is how to get that to your potential registrants. So what you're going to do for that is you'll just come to this button right here that says Send, and if I click Send, notice that I have several options, so don't get confused over all of this information. The main thing that you need to see is that you can send it via email, so if you had their email addresses already, you could send it out to them. What I typically do is use this middle one, which is the link. You can share this link with people. So if I wanted to put this link on a web page, or I could put it out in an email, I could do anything like that, and then my ladies could click on the link and go straight to the form. Notice that I have an option here to shorten the URL. So if I wanted to actually put that link into a newsletter, I could shorten it, because then it's not quite so overwhelming for the ladies to see and to type it in. That's what I use most frequently, is the link. Now there's also an option to embed the form, and this would be where you'd want to take this code and put it right directly into a blog post or a web page so that the ladies could just fill it out right there on the site. And that works very well too. But again, I typically like to use this middle one and share the link. That seems to be the easiest. And what I would do then is just click copy, and then I would have that link on the clipboard so that I could send it out to the ladies and let them be able to go ahead and register. So that is how you can use my sample registration form through Google Forms, and how you can make a spreadsheet to automatically collect the data, and how to share that link to that form with your potential retreat registrants. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much.